Yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to Qatar. Give me a sec, I just need to quickly screen share. You need to see what I'm seeing as well.
Yeah.
Alright, so here we are. It is in Qatar. Lovely, lovely jubbly. I don't know what I'm saying. I've got nothing to say during this.
Oh wait, are you streaming or not yet?
Yeah, we're live.
Alright.
So here in the commentary box you may hear a new voice. This is Manatee. Welcome to commentating.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. Especially on Qatar. Really interesting track.
Yeah. I hope you're there for tier 2 tomorrow, because that's gonna be a bit of chaos and a bit of nice racing.
Yeah, it will be. Qatar is always chaos, but there's rarely ever safety cars.
Yeah. Alright, here we are, getting ready to go through in Qatar. Who do you think is going to be first to leave the pit lane?
It's probably gonna be whoever's... I'm not sure. They'll probably want to get someone who doesn't have as competitive of a driving style. And I can see, is it the Williams coming
Yes,
out
it
now?
is. That's Zendaya coming out now. Our first one to leave the pit lane. That is going to be quite the advantage for now, until someone else sets a fastest lap.
It will be, but they may have traffic on the last few corners.
Yeah.
Or at least on the start-finish straight. And there's the Ferrari coming out. That is Ward's.
Yeah, that is Ward's that you can see just leaving the pit lane now. Oh, I think... yeah, people are starting to leave the pit lane now. It's getting more and more people are leaving. RTF Pro player, who is a reserve for Red Bull tonight, not a mainstay of Red Bull. Obviously not with all the penalties.
So these will be mostly new tyre runs in this short qualifying.
Yeah.
Because every lap counts on this track, as it is very high tyre degradation, so those used tyres will be losing loads of time. It just won't be worth it in the short qualifying session.
Fair, yeah, because it's all about trying to get the fastest time but not ruining your tyres.
Yeah, that is true.
Because the thing is,
those tyres.
Yeah, you're going to want them to last, because if they don't last, then you're not going to make it to the end of the Grand Prix. And that's BMH retiring from the session without even setting a time yet.
Do we think he might be doing the last to first challenge?
I think he might have a quali ban, actually.
Oh.
I don't remember. I should have checked with the FIA for that details.
That is true, but that would be interesting to see how he goes on in the race.
And anyways, let's get on to Zendaya, who's just about to start a lap here at Qatar. As we go...
Definitely being... Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Definitely being very careful putting temperature into those tyres to not degrade them very much, as every single percentage of degradation will count for the lap.
Yeah, that's, as you can see, trying to keep it stable at the moment, but is close to going off track through every corner.
That is true. This is not a very high traction track, even though it is very high speed, so it's interesting to see how the drivers will cope with track limits.
Yeah, I kind of did learn my lesson in FP1, because I was testing out the track. For some reason, I was really bored, and it was so hard to keep it on track. I was either losing my rear end or front end, or spinning.
Yeah, that happened on this track. High speed, not very much braking, so it is very difficult to keep on the track and set a time without invalidating.
Just like Zendaya has done there, with just going a bit too much off track, and Zendaya was actually spinning during FP. So, who is closest to completing... not completing. Have you just been disconnected? I think... Oh no, oh no, this feels all too familiar. Anyways, RTF Pro Player saying fastest time. Ward's going to go 2 seconds faster than him though, 120.4. Rico even faster though, 120.2. Ooh, we're going to see people start to go across the line now. Oh, getting ready to set some perfect times. Kevin disconnects. Oh, fucking lovely. Just love when that happens. It's just great, awesome, incredible. And it's Juice invalidated, but Marcel has not, and will be setting a time of 1:20. Jesus, you are swamped. Oh, then again though, he is on fucking... You're on fucking Inters, it's not raining! Okay, I mean, it still works anyway. It's an Inters, so it works in any condition. But it's not gonna give you performance, it's not gonna be softer than soft. It's not gonna give you a competitive edge. XPG Dan here, let's watch along with him. Yeah, Manatee has had a bit of a disconnection. We'll sure see him sooner or later throughout this Grand Prix. Fatigue's had problems. Fucking Christ. Has EA just... Oh. Kevin is PS, but not iBounty. Oh no. Oh, there's a Steam outage, isn't there? Fucking lovely. Fucking lovely. Oh, I've just got a message request. Manatee's internet has officially just gone out. That's not what I wanted to hear. I think there might be a Steam outage tonight. Don't re-invite Fatigue. So Manatee will be back in 5 minutes, but we did have issues there. Apologies about that. We will get back to some of that racing action. No one's able to beat Rico's time yet, keeping it on top of the boards. However, we do have a Yinmo Riz production in progress. Actually, no, he is going a bit slower than usual, so he is on an in-lap. Let's check on Marcus, BP in the room, who is just coming around Sector 1 now. All through these first 3 turns. And Manatee, welcome back to the commentary box.
Sorry for that. Sorry about timing there.
It's completely understandable. Oh, I legit thought Steam had an outage for a second.
Yeah, that is on me. Sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
We'll be back in a moment into the commentary box in the game.
Right, yeah. Anyways, BP in the room just finishing up the lap now. And we've got some very good pace going on here, but will it be fast enough to carry him into the podium positions? Or even a pole position here? And it will not, it will be P4 for BP in the room. That's Marcus P4. let's move on to Zendaya Original. No, that's not actually. Let's move on to the Alpine, who is really slow on track. New person, by the way. I do not recognise the name Domnisty. So we do have some new people driving today. I'm still annoyed about the Alpine 2024 livery. It's just...
In all honesty, I don't actually mind it. I reckon it looks better than their old livery, but...
I mean, it looks nice, but still...
Disaster. Yeah, the car is a disaster.
Like, it's a tractor, and they thought removing some paint was gonna make it faster.
Yeah, that is very true. But a lot of teams this year have
gone with the carbon fibre.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, to be fair, it kind of reminded me of Mercedes livery, where it was all carbon fibre.
Yeah, but this year's Mercedes livery looks much better, I have to say.
Yeah, I like what they've done with the kind of design of the livery.
Yeah, it's like a throwback, more silver as they used to have.
Yeah, I kind of like the silver liveries though.
Yeah, I agree. I like the silver. I like how every team has changed it up a bit this year.
Yeah, and like as we've gotten closer to Hamilton leaving, it's kind of just gone back to this reminiscing. Maybe it was a specialty livery, but the thing is, you can't have two different driver liveries, so you have to have it consistently.
Yeah, that is true.
Could be like a throwback. I mean, it would have been funny if they went with the brawn colour scheme instead.
Yeah. So the top three separated by almost a second.
Yeah, the pace.
Pole and third.
Their pace seems to be pretty good.
It seems to be alright, and going from third to eighth, they are not very separated, only by a few tenths.
Yeah, tier 1 is the fastest tier, with people having top 100s in time trials, which is insane. I don't think we've had a driver that's been in the top, like the absolute top of the charts, but some very professional speed.
I myself am in the top 10 of Silverstone actually, but here in the commentary box, so...
I might still be stood up from there actually, to be fair.
Yeah. So we have the Alpha Supra on his outer lap to set his first time of the session.
Yeah, Supra, who is the other Marcus. We have two of them. Trust me, it gets very confusing, so that's why I refer to BP in the room as BP in the room and Supra as BP in the room and as Supra. I love the English language.
Do you think that Rico's time will be beaten? Do you think he will have to go out
knowing
again?
the McLaren dominance at the moment with 4 races in a row, I don't think so. And that's bank 6 disqualification for blocking the pit lane. Oh, thank goodness that wasn't in race.
Very true, because that would have caused a lot of time loss for other drivers.
Yeah.
Do you think Rico will go out again to keep his position just in case Ward...
I don't think he will unless someone overtakes him.
That is true. With 5 minutes left of the session, some people will decide to go out to try to keep their position because you never know.
Yeah, you never know with these drivers. They really have this sense of unpredictability but pace.
That is true. You can go from being one of the back markers to being at the front if you have one lucky lap. So it's crucial that you put in the best effort you can, because you never know.
The thing is though, if you're not good defending the back, try to push for the front after qualifying, like in the actual race, push for the top spot. because then you're not stuck in with a bunch of other people.
The Williams starts his lap.
Yep, and as Supra is coming to the end of his lap here, let's see what time can he pull here at Qatar, and it will be a time that will get him on the podium of 1:21.0.
Bringing the top three close together. Definitely promising for the race, showing that they have a similar amount of pace.
Yes, let's check on the Williams, who is currently out on track, who is a bit slower than I anticipated, but you know, as long as it's making good time up, if it works, it works. Kevin is still not rejoined. Let me give him another invite. Because at this point, he's not going to have enough time to set a lap in.
That is true. With your out lap, you need to work the tyres. Oh, and the Williams spins and he is out. He doesn't set a lap.
That's a shame. He had not bad pace coming into the last few corners.
It looked extremely promising and definitely could have been one of the top spots, but now he will probably not have time for another out lap unless... Yeah, I don't believe he will have time for another lap, which will...
I mean, some people are challenging their abilities. Wards and Alfie have decided to leave the pit lane and see how far they can get before the end of the session.
That is true, but even going as fast as he can, I do not believe he will have enough time. The Williams will have enough time to set another lap. So he will.
I mean, if you fuel enough, like if you have like 2 laps of fuel in you, then you're insured for if that sort of thing happens.
That is true, but at the same time, with the ERS usage, which is also high here, oh, and he goes into the gravel again.
Lovely jubbly.
Gonna be a danger to the other drivers going slowly on the track, but it is fine because they are not too close to him, and he cuts the track, probably hoping
Rico
to get
is out!
Hmm?
Rico is testing! He's out!
Hmm. He probably saw that Wards has gone for another lap, and he does want to keep that position at the front because that is a massive advantage when it comes to the circuit, which is not very easy to overtake on, even on the straight.
Yeah, definitely for the McLaren, we have a bunch of sponsors that I'm not going to list, team. No, seriously, look at the role name. Mara's insane. I know like a few of them was NordVPN, Marabolo, and that's the only ones I can remember.
Yeah, Rico will have enough time for his lap. He is about to go into the final corner. He just has to hope that he does the best lap he can without compromising his position, of course.
There is a full yellow along the last corner. The last few corners. I'm sorry, I don't know where English has gone today.
Now, Kevin will be trying to get that, Supra, I believe that is, will be trying to get the last lap in, unless that is a different Alpha that I'm seeing on the track.
That is Kevin you're seeing on track, but there are 2 of them. I think Supra might just be able to get it in before the time ends. He does!
And he crosses the line perfectly, but the other cars behind him have no luck. But actually, no one else is on their out lap, so they are just setting a lap.
So, yeah. Oh, but that's Alfie in the gravel.
Ooh.
If only I had like a race replay function so you could see what happened. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, true.
They need to make that an F123. F124.
Ward sets the fastest lap for a provisional pole, so Rico will have to put in his best last sector, considering he was 200 slower on the middle sector than he was. As he goes into the last corner, Oh, and he has a little snap of oversteer, puts on DRS, and that is going to bring him into second place. Ward starts off the race from pole position unless someone behind can put in a faster lap, but that is unlikely.
What? I mean, then again though, it has been kind of like the Max situation where Ferrari, great qualifying pace, and then race pace, bye-bye, have a great time.
That is true. We will definitely see in Australia tomorrow and Sunday how that will go.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole thing in itself.
Woods gets the advantage starting from pole position. But
yeah.
That does mean if Rico gets a better start, he will have the inside into turn 1, which may give him the advantage, but it all depends on the start of the race and what tyre they start on, which will be interesting to see. Yes,
it will, as we see Wards get P1 for the Scuderia Ferrari, Rico P2 for McLaren, and Agro Alfie P3 for AlphaTauri. I think I said AlphaTauri twice, and there's Bank 6 disqualified from the session for blocking in the pit lane. Fantastic when you do that stuff. Because then you're basically you're stuck doing a last to first, essentially. You have no other way of... BMH didn't get as lucky either, also deciding to go out during... I don't know why.
That AlphaTauri, who was at Red Bull, the Bank who got disqualified, is the only one. Yeah, AlphaTauri, the only one with a disqualification. So it seems that the rest of the drivers can control themselves pretty well.
Yeah, but here we are at the Qatar circuit, sponsored by Qatar Airways. Lovely.
Yeah. Now, tyre strategies, especially in a 29-lap race, will be very interesting considering the high tyre degradation. Starting on softs here is a very risky move because you usually only start on them if you want to make up a lot of time at the start, because every single lap matters with them and they will drop off very quickly, leading to an early pit stop.
Yeah, and if you're into an early pit stop, then be my guest.
Yeah, so...
Like, I can't stop you from changing your decision or your strategy. I'm just here to tell you the facts while they're still fresh. Like, Logan Sargent is no longer driving in a car.
Starting on those soft tyres, they will have to hope there is not an early safety car, or that is their strategy compromise.
Pretty much. But the thing is, we're talking about TSRL. Tier 1, there's bound to be like 1 or 2 safety cars. Tier 2, 3 to 4 safety cars. Tier 3, 6 or 7 safety cars.
Yeah, that is very true, but the drivers have to try their best to be careful. And we'll see how that turns out for them, especially on such a difficult high-speed track like Qatar.
Yeah. But let's hope and see. So we're just currently kind of waiting. Everyone else in the paddock club is just cheering like, woo! I hope BMH wins. No, it's definitely going to be Rico. Woo!
That is true. We will see how that goes. And Rico has a promising starting position. But we will have to see how that goes.
So we're currently just kind of waiting.
He will have the inside to turn 1, but he does have to have a very good start to get into P1. We may have to have a lobby restart considering...
Yeah, it is taking a bit longer to get into the session. Kind of strange. Oh, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's off and out we go.
Very good start from Rico.
Yeah.
But he is behind.
He is going to overtake Wards, but Wards has a bit of lag and still gets ahead of Rico. Huh?
That is very unlucky.
Yeah, caution in sector 2 already. Williams at the back of the grid. No, that's actually RTF Pro player.
Bank already making up 2 positions, now losing another.
Oh my god, a lot is happening in the back over there. A lot of overtakes being done early in the start of these races. I quickly need to change the pit detail to penalties.
So no one is starting on the soft tyre, which probably is a smart idea on this track, because that will leave you with the tyre disadvantage later on in the race.
Yeah. I guess no one wanted to take the risk. But here are the possible tyre strategies. Mediums to softs, hards to mediums. Oh my god.
Front runners, of course, starting on mediums, but those tyres will wear out and the hard runners will be able to get ahead.
I did say earlier that Ferrari in qualifying is amazing, but then in race is awful. But Ward's over here is just pulling against Rico, making it impossible.
And sets the fastest lap already.
That's impressive. Let's look at Juice, who is right behind Supra here. I don't know if he's going to go for a move yet. It'd be risky going into that corner since it's so tight.
Yeah, this is a very difficult track to overtake on, so we will have to see how that goes.
It depends on if people want to take risks.
That is true, and always a bad move can send you out of the race, so it is a matter of milliseconds here.
Anyways, let's check on Alfie
we have a
here.
caution sector 2.
That's RTF out of the race! Safety car! Lap 2 safety car!
That will be bad for the hard runners, I believe. But I do not think anyone will actually pit, considering the position loss, and they will not have much fresh tyres, even with the small difference 1 lap makes.
I mean, on lap 6...
that anyone will take the risk to pit.
Lap 6, real life Jeddah during the safety car. Everyone, nearly the entire grid decided to pit. And then we had Lando Norris leading the race for a bit until Max overtook. Which brought for some interesting racing action.
Seems like Lando will never get a win at this point with Max on the grid.
Yeah, I'm hoping he does.
BMH goes into the pits. Oh, so do a few of the back now. And the McLaren goes onto hard tyres, which will allow him to pit a few laps later.
Yes, BMH just leaving the pit lane. Yeah. Oh, that's 5 seconds for Alfie. What was that? That was just a wing flying in the air.
We see already a lot of action here.
Yeah, as we now get into the safety car.
So you do have to expect difficulty, and that safety car might probably go in about a lap later. And with that 5-second penalty, Alfie is going to have to work hard to stay in the points.
Yeah.
Now we have to think, will Rico take P1 after the safety car restart?
It's a
very good of a start he gets a second chance.
Yeah, unless the Ferrari just randomly got an upgrade and Maris just gonna be like, no, I'm gonna figure out a way. I'm gonna figure out what penalties he did and then get him.
This isn't equal performance, is it?
No, it is equal.
Oh, I see.
Is it supposed to be? I think.
I'm sure on the restart.
Yeah, equal is on.
Will probably compromise some drivers' starts, as it is very painful with throttling. If you've ever, after a safety car restart, you get that a lot. And I think in the next game, F1 24, there should be an option to disable it in custom races, because it is horrible and just lets you have a worse start.
Yeah, anyways, Matthew Leclerc has just left the game. Alfie has gone into the pits and skid his tyres.
Safety car might be going in next lap.
Yeah, let's see
This
though.
lap, maybe. And Alfie goes back into the pits, that's true. So now there will be a big tyre difference, and as long as he can catch up to the back of the pack on those hard tyres, he will already be very close to the mediums, considering 3 laps on the safety car or not. This is very high tyre degradation, so we will see how that turns out for him.
Why were we stuck on the AlphaTauri pit box for so long?
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
Oh, I don't know. Anyways, let's see if the Dutch national anthem courses through Rico's veins, or we finally have a different winner after 3 weeks of McLaren domination.
Yeah, we will just have to see.
It
Wards
is
from... Where is he from?
I don't remember off the top of my head, actually.
I recall seeing the flag. I believe that's Lebanon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Lebanon. That was his flag, so I believe that is where he's from. And maybe we will hear, well, of course, for my first time here, but maybe there will be a different national anthem for everyone's race.
Yeah. I don't think I actually have that national anthem.
Alfie has caught up to the pack, so he is on those.
And there it is, safety car in this lap. Here we go. Let's see who's going to be first place. Who are you placing your bets on?
Rico will be trying his best to get a good restart, and they are on similar tyres, so reaction time is everything here.
But it is gonna be crucial.
And Ward speeds off, has a bit of oversteer. And Rico.
And here we go yet again. We're gonna start racing. Rico really close. They go side by side. He takes the outside line. He gets the position. But oh no, I thought that Ferrari was gonna go for the switchback on him. It looked like it for a second, because that would have been a really good move. What the?
I don't believe they had any contact, but it was awfully close. Rico has a snap of oversteer that allows Wards to try get in front. He will have the better exit, but Rico will close the door. Wards has to stay behind.
Yeah. The thing is, once the McLaren overtakes, there's no way to overtake the McLaren.
Yeah, Woods will have to get very lucky if he wants a chance of getting P1 again.
Yeah, their original 3 seconds.
Multiple warnings, I wonder what that's about. It might be track limits.
Most likely, yeah. Do we think the same things?
Incidents, let's see. His warnings are just for track limits. Yeah, that.
Marcus is going faster than Wards and Rico, but Wards is going to get the overtake done over here, but Rico's going to make the switchback. No, Wards has got the position again. Wards is back.
That is crazy.
That's insane. The Scuderia Ferrari have invented a car. That's just lovely. It's left me brain.
Oh, I'm stuck on the race director screen.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
No, don't do that again.
Anyways, Marcel here, who was looking to make an overtake, but was not. BMH has just made an overtake on Alfie. probably not going to be happy about that one. I might want to get in overtaking, but I think BMH might be wanting to make a move on BP in the room as they're going to go side by side. But no, he backs out in the corner. Although, I think it might happen here. No, it doesn't. This McLaren is really indecisive as Alfie is going to make an overtake on the McLaren. Three wide into the corner.
And 3-second time penalty.
For Yin Mariz, is that a tie now between Zendaya and Yin for the penalties in this race, penalties championship. Oh my god, words. I really need to come up with words.
That penalty for the Williams will be absolutely crucial considering he's at the back of the pack, and that begs the question.
Oh, and is Marcus really off track there?
Yeah, that will beg the question, is it just worth retiring, being 12 seconds behind P14 and having a 3-second penalty?
Yeah, it's all depending here. And as Rico is gaining on Wards here, and I think we might have another turn 1 overtake. It's looking potentially. iBounty 3 seconds. Alfie 3 seconds.
There is a lot of penalties in this race. This is a very hard track, and that will probably be track limit.
Bang, 3 seconds.
And there is another penalty.
Oh god, the FIA are having a penalties fair. It's not even into the first turn. Rico's made the overtake on Wards yet again. I called it before it even happened.
Yeah, you never know though. In this race, anything is possible, especially on the circuit. And with that DRS, they will probably just trade positions for a while, and it will end with tyre management and pit stops.
It is all up in the team's air, but also the driver. XPG Dan losing a lot of positions here. Oh, he's in the gravel. Oh. That has really screwed his race over.
What a shame, we had a
BP
and another
3
time
seconds.
penalty.
Guys, time penalties are not money. They're time penalties. I don't think I've made it any clearer. Safety car! Oh no!
Another one. That will be. That will.
I think that was between bank 6.
Some people come into the pits.
Yeah, XPG is missing his wing, so something must have happened between bank 6 and XPG. Not gonna be great for him.
No,
But Rico leading this race now. I will be back in a few seconds to take over for a bit.
Alright. So he is still in the lead. Pit stops will be very interesting here. Are they going to pit and risk it? And with how much wear they have on the tyres right now, it is probably the right call to make, considering the high tyre degradation, and considering it is already lap 9. Those 9 laps will be absolutely crucial, and for later pit stops, it is going to be very difficult to fight against those newer tyres. So those rear tyres especially, they will be taking a lot of the impact from the racing. But there has been a few laps with the safety car, so they won't have as much wear as they usually would. But as long as you can pit and catch up with the pack, then you should be fine and you have an advantage with those fresher tyres.
Alright, sorry, I'm back. But here we are, lap 9 under the safety car with penalties for Yin, Alfie and iBounty, along with BP in the room, Bank 6 and Zenda. can you stop sending these on me requests? Oh yeah, I probably should invite you back.
Yeah, that is true. Just was stuck on the race director screen. I have to remember not to do that again.
Yeah, I have basically been allergic to that screen ever since.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to go without it, unfortunately.
Since EA are EA and like EAing.
Hopefully a lot of the bugs in this game will be fixed next game, including the marbling. That should definitely be shaped by the racing line the drivers take. And
the only thing I want them to keep from this game is the handling. It's pretty good.
That is true, but we might see a big upgrade in F124, sorry. And we have to hope it doesn't inch closer to how F122 was, because that was devastating.
Yeah.
So, very many time penalties, and they are going to have to work hard to make up that time. The safety car not making it easier, bunching up the pack.
Yeah, with Rico now vulnerable on his position again, knowing that Wards could decide to overtake him at any moment.
So, the safety car will probably be in next lap, giving some people an opportunity to pit, and Zender in the Williams goes onto the soft tyre, hoping to make up some of those positions that he lost, and some of that time that he will lose because of the time penalty.
Yeah, most of this can be blamed on Bank 6 or XPG. I don't know what happened, but it must have been between them two.
That is true. He did get warnings for collisions with the Williams, so that would be cause of his time penalty. And the safety car will come in this lap.
We do have a radio from Marcus. Ben is murderous today. Saw him in a shunt with Kevin. Well, that's not something you want to be hearing.
And coming into the final corner.
BMH, 3 seconds.
Time penalty. BMH.
Like I said, this is not money.
That is true, and under the safety car, most likely that might be for a collision. We also have to see how the Williams will cope on those soft tyres coming into the last corner.
It is all gonna depend as we get racing again. Dominizzi, 3 seconds as we get going yet again.
Wards.
It wasn't
a lot of time.
I don't think it was oversteer. I think that was lag. But Rico has not lost the position yet because Wards was a bit too far back to make any moves. However, I think Marcus Supra is considering making a move.
Alfie goes into P4 on the fresher tyres. He's currently fighting with Yin Moriz. He pitted under that first safety car, giving him that edge. Those medium 10 lap on tyres slowly succumbing to the tyre degradation on this track. And definitely a questionable decision from Wards or Rico not to pit. Now they are on 10 lap old tyres, lost the opportunity during the safety car. So
Kevin and Marcel losing a lot of positions here. Zender and Marcel are now fighting. And they keep switching positions. And it's because they are side by side for most of the time. And the Aston trying to keep it on track, but Zender just keeps getting forced off track. But Zender will keep this position with a little snap of oversteer. 3 seconds. And Zender keeps it though. But Marcel wants that position back. They're both.
Produces Aston Martin, he will definitely have an edge fighting with the drivers behind.
The Williams over here is being insane, while the Alpine, who snuck between these two's fights, Zender's gonna go down the inside. No! Zender's lost 2 positions, and Marcel now left to fight with the Alpine.
That will be devastating for Zender, considering he is on the soft tyre. He was hoping to make as many positions as possible.
But now he's in last place.
The edge they had.
It is such a shame. Jukes, let's move on to him. He is currently trying to prevent BP in the room from overtaking, but is also in a fight with Yinmo Riz.
Alfie would not be fighting that much considering BMH has 5 lap fresher tyres, so he will have the edge.
And that's Juice making the overtake on Yin! Yin!
And the 3-second time penalty for Yin.
That makes him leader of the penalties championship now.
And those 11 lap old medium.
Bank 6 is going to overtake BP in the room, however. He must not be enjoying that.
Supra will now have that hedge with those 11 lap old cars.
We're following along with Dominic as he's going side by side with Bounty. He's made the position, but will he be able to keep it into the first corner? Yes, he does. That has backs out of the fight. That is it
now
for that fight.
4 lap old hards, he will be catching P1 and P2 fighting for the top positions. But he does have a 3-second time penalty, so if he wants to come onto the podium or anywhere close to winning this race, he's going to have a spectacular
Let's check on Bank 6, who is still fighting the Yinmo Riz, and the Red Bull right in behind, wanting to gain some positions as well. Oh, they're going side by side into these corners. It's Bank 6 ahead of Yinmo Riz, Yin forced to stay behind through these few corners. Which means he loses a lot of time going into that one. But who doesn't, however, is BP in the room, who's staying close to the halves of Yin, but is now losing the gap.
Penalty for Ward. That's going to make it so much easier for Rico to take home.
Yeah. But there it is, BP in the room. Backs out at the last moment.
Oh, and Ward goes into the pits, finally getting tired of those 12.
Oh, it is a McLaren 1-2 now. Which basically means Rico's won.
That is true, but Rico is probably going to go into the pits this lap, considering those mediums are now probably getting very hard to drive on, and BMH will have the lead for a while.
I think in theory, McLaren has the good pit crew, so why don't they double stack Rico and BMH?
But BMH is on 5 lap old hards, so he will not be using those hards to their limit if he does pit right now.
BP in the room, another penalty there.
It would be better for BMH to stay out, considering he is on fairly fresh tyres and he does not need to pit as a
Anyways, Juice is about to make an overtake here. He might do it. He does it on Alfie. But Alfie still has the inside line over these corners. They touch. He's forced off track. Oh, my voice is gonna start creaking. I'm sure of it. Oh wait, I think that is Yin into the pits now. Oh.
BMH now in DRS range. He gets his fastest lap.
He's gonna do it to Rico
and gets it.
He's now the leader of the race. Rico is like, why is he fighting me? I'm supposed to be the leader.
BMH will be faster because he has much fresher tyres and those mediums have definitely fell off, so I do expect Rico will be going into the pits, as BMH already has half a second lead on Rico, since he is on the faster tyre at the moment, because he is on the harder compound and he has many less laps than Rico. So we will
it might be a strategy play here that I'm seeing.
It would not pay off for Rico to keep fighting BMH, considering that would lose them both time and make them vulnerable to the drivers behind, like Juice, who is probably about to fight for a podium position on those 6 lap old hards compared to Supra's 14 lap old hards.
He is starting to catch up here.
The Williams now on 6 lap old, and a time penalty for Juice. That will
3 seconds. Guys, like I've said, it's not money.
And very questionable, Rico does not go into the pits. He will continue on those mediums, going as late as he can, so he can have the edge on tyres at the end of the race.
The thing is, playing on that bet is dangerous, since if they lose too much degradation, then you can spin at any moment and that's a race over.
That is true. BMH will now be going far into the lead. He will only have to pit later on.
And that's a caution in Sector 2. Ooh, I think it's near one of the Alpines. It's been resolved. Woods is probably going to want to make up a few positions and get back up to the top.
BMH probably has about 10 laps until he has to pit. He will pit for the softer tyre, which makes me think he may have the edge for this race, and he may win it, even with his 3-second time penalty. Rico will have to either pit onto soft or hard, which will probably be the hard tyre, which will be the slower tyre, and BMH will probably take home the race win.
It's all playing on bets here.
That is true, he is on a way fresher hard, and Rico's choice to not go in could have probably impacted his race a lot, and it just depends how everything else plays out if he wants to get a podium position.
Let's check on Marcel Jan here, who is gaining time on the Alpine of Donizy. 3 seconds reduced the other Aston Martin in this race.
That is now 6 seconds for Juice altogether. That would be that, and he gets overtaken by that.
Lovely, just a lovely day.
And
Zenda.
Another 3-second time penalty for Zenda, making it 6. It clearly is very hard to keep in track limits considering how many drivers have penalties. It seems that more drivers do than don't. It's only 4 drivers that have managed to keep in the track limits with no penalties in this race. And are they going to continue like that, or are they going to end up having time penalties like the others?
It is only a wait to see what happens here at
Rico
Qatar.
is clearly doing very good driving, being on the much more degraded tyre by 8 laps and on the softer compound, staying in DRS range of BMH. It may be possible that BMH is slowing down to keep Rico in DRS range as a team, keeping him in the front and not letting him, you know, lose
Fall behind.
not having DRS.
But that's Rico going into the pits. He's ending.
And he will probably be going on the hard tyre with 12 laps left in the race.
But there it is. Let's just hope that the pit disadvantage does not get to him and he can't recover positions, because he's losing quite a lot now.
Tyre. For 11 laps of the race, he will probably not be pitting again, which will be very difficult for him, having a very degraded compound at the end of the race.
Hold on, there might be a new fight between Woods and Rico. Rico has been overtaken by Woods while he's exiting the pit lane.
Rico will definitely be going for an undercut on all the other drivers who are yet to pit in their stint. But a lot of drivers in front of him are on the hard tyre.
Yeah, let's check here. BP in the room is going to try and make a move on the Alpine, but he backs out at the last moment, knowing it was far too risky. Oh, although he might go through these next few corners, it is up to him. No, he is starting to make a big gap now. XP down, 3 seconds.
So we are now left with 3 drivers who do not have a time penalty. That is
insane.
Stender now on 9-lap-old softs. He is almost 3 seconds behind Kevin, which begs the question, should he retire now?
I think it would be best decision other than letting the car bin itself, as he gets 9 seconds of penalties.
And BMH is into the pits, probably going on the medium tyre. Yes, he is. He will come out the pits in P10 or 9, I believe. No.
He's going to come out in... If Woods can get it here, he is going to come out... Oh, in 9, in 8, in 10th. Wow.
He is now behind Rico, which just shows that Rico did get a good undercut on BMH. He is now in a net P1, but is he going to be able to hold on to that? With his
Ian
soft tyres
Riz,
being heavily
3
degraded at the end of the
seconds.
race?
People are getting 9-second penalties now. Ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Soon we're going to be seeing 12 seconds. There are 3 people who have 9-second penalties.
3 seconds to Kevin.
Oh, what a shame. It's just horrible, isn't it?
It has not been his race this weekend, and he got disconnected during qualifying, and now he's struggling at the back of the grid.
Now, Stender losing so much time. He's losing about 2 seconds per few corners because he is on 10-lap-old softs compared to Kevin's 3-lap-old medium. What strategy is he going for here?
It is unknown to me, but Jukes! Oh no, it was Supra going into the pit lane. But that's Jukes now leading the race. I did not expect...
Supra goes into the pits for mediums. Juice, will he hold on to those 11-lap-old hards? Enrico gets the fastest lap, just showing how good of a driver he is. On those softs, he's making his way up.
9 laps left to go. Caution in sector 3. It's the Williams. He's off track.
Oh, it was just inevitable, wasn't it, with those highly degraded softs.
He needs to pit now, or he's not pitting at all.
Yeah, it is very likely he will just end up at the back of the grid. Unfortunately, no driver wants to come to that.
That could have been almost an overspeed there, and he could have gotten another penalty.
5 seconds even for that. Would have brought him up to 14 seconds. At this point, I just don't think his race is worth. And he goes onto the softs, which he will have to go on for another 9 laps. I do not think he will be able to make up any positions, especially with its now, which will be 40-second deficit probably off of Kevin when he comes out of the pits. And it is 42 seconds.
Yeah.
Kevin is probably going to extend his medium sprint up until the end of the race, being 13 laps. And at this high of a level, tier 1, you will not make up 42 seconds in 8 laps.
Zenda, I recommend to you either bin it into the wall or you DNF.
Yeah, of course.
Whichever one you think will give a shift in the leaderboard.
He will definitely be hoping for a safety car here. That would be the best for him. He would be on the soft tyre and he would maybe make his way up the pack. Now he goes to a 1 second deficit. BP in the rings and the pits. Going on the soft tyre.
I think he's making a bet here. That softs are gonna last.
All the drivers on the soft tyres will just be praying for a safety car because that would help their race so much.
We could possibly see a Aston Martin 1-2 here if Marcel can pull past Domazy.
The front runners all on 12-lap-old hards. They will be trying to extend that stint so they don't have to pit again, so they can stay in the lead. But they will be susceptible to getting overtaken by Rico and the medium runners behind, who is catching up. He's probably about to go to that P4 and he will be making his way up and he will be hoping for a podium position there, if not a win.
As Marcel Jan's going to push past Dominique, and Rico gets
going to go
past.
To P4.
But there it is, that's the move done and dusted. However, I don't think the Alpine's going to give up the position that easily. He's starting to chase, using the last of his ERS on it.
We might see an Aston Martin 1-2 here, but Marcel, if he keeps that gap the same as it is right now, he will probably come out in P1, considering Juice's 3-second time penalty is at 6 even. So there is a
Zenda, 12 seconds.
He should really just retire again.
Retire or bin.
Yeah, unfortunately, no driver wants to do that after trying their best in a race, but unfortunately, it doesn't have to happen.
Yeah.
Juice may fall quite a few positions with that 6-second time penalty. Of course, the drivers behind him also have quite a few penalties, but that will bring him back in first place, even if he's the first over the finish line on the last lap. It just doesn't work out for him very well if he can't extend that gap by quite a few seconds.
Rico is trying to gain some time on the straight here.
Rico's tyres now being 5 laps old and the softest compound, they will be feeling the effect of this track being extremely high tyre degradation. One of the highest tyre degradation tracks in Formula 1.
And somehow he keeps gaining time and losing time, so he is starting to have issues with his tyres now.
That is true. Being a very talented driver, he will still be gaining time, even if he will be experiencing understeer in these fast corners. But the drivers in front of him are on 14-lap-old cars, which makes him pretty equal. But he does have to make good positions because his tyres will die faster.
Zender 15! Is he gonna... He's binned into the gravel, he's spinning!
But he's going to continue.
No, he is retired from the session.
Oh, yeah.
Yellow flags are out. But that's Zender's race over.
Yeah, no one wanted to
Let's check on Kevin here, who's not had the greatest race.
For BP in the room.
BP's off track!
Oh, in those soft
He
tires.
almost binned it into the wall. That's a safety car!
Oh, this would be very interesting for the last 6 laps of the race.
2021 Abu Dhabi.
Now, that does beg the question, is Rico going to make it back up into P1 on those 6-lap-old softs?
He might want to pit here. I think the safety car is a good opportunity to pit.
You know, I think the front runners on the hards will not want to take that risk. They are on the hard and they are at the front with the time penalties. I just don't think in the last 5 laps of the race they're going to be able to make it up. We do see a lot of people pitting for softs here, which the rest of the grid might want to try, but it is very risky because you have to be on the pace very well, and if you are not going to make those positions up, and it will not be worth pitting.
You're gonna have to try playing with bats here, and that's not always gonna work. BP's out. That's both of my cars out of this race now.
Yeah, that is going to be devastating for them. T1 chat not very happy.
Right.
Yeah, not happy at all. But now with the safety car, it will make it much harder for Juice to keep that P1 as he goes into the pits. And anyone who
Rico's pitting. He's making a bet here.
Interesting.
But the question is it gonna pay off? Brake checking in the pit lane.
That is of course going to be very devastating and will put out a lot of anger. The front runners will be coming out still in the front positions as we see most of the grid on soft tyres. All of the running grid on soft tyres now. Rico coming out in P3.
Juice is still leading this race.
Yeah, but it will be very hard for him. He will not have the edge here. The people behind him will be on the same tyres, and unless he has insane pace and makes up 6 seconds.
I think he's playing on a bet here. I think that would be the best thing to do. It's either bet in or follow like a sheep, and following like a sheep never gets you good.
That is true. I believe the safety car will probably be in this lap, which will leave us with...
Unless the EA decides, you know what? We're going to do a final lap safety car. That'd be hilarious.
BMH overtakes on the safety car. Oh, never mind. He gives the position back.
Ferrari, I bet Wards is pretty happy about his race so far.
Yeah, He definitely will not be actually. But considering starting in P1 and ending
Bank 6 has just been disconnected. Lovely jubbly.
Who has been disconnected, sorry?
Bank 6.
What a shame. Again, driver with a lot of time penalties near the back of the grid. Not really looking to get points.
It'd be funny if Rico disconnected.
This will be interesting because at the front of the grid.
Safety cars in this lap. 4 laps left to go. Or 3 after this.
Back. He will continue racing. And
but here
this
it
will be
is.
very interesting because everyone will be fighting almost on the exact same tyres, other than the back markers who pitted a lap earlier. So
yeah, most of the grid is soft. Everyone is playing on bets here.
As I said, yeah, the whole grid is on soft. Just the back markers.
Wait, did someone trigger another safety car?
That would just.
While the safety car was ending.
It is. And the racing begins.
Here we go.
BMH going into the inside of Marcel side by side into turn 1.
Surprisingly, no first turn overtakes from Rico.
Now there's 2 McLaren drivers next to each other. And a 3-second time penalty for XPG again. That will bring up to 6 seconds, I believe.
You believe?
What is it?
You believe?
Yeah, I believe. XPG.
Surprisingly, Dominici is keeping Rico behind, but Rico might be making an overtake on Dominici soon.
Yeah, they will. Everyone will be fighting as hard as they can.
Here it is. Here we go. Is he gonna do it? And he makes the move, and that is BP out. Oh, left the session, which means we now have a different host. Which means things could get wankers bonkers.
So now the 2 McLarens behind Juice will make it very, very difficult for him to defend that position because they can just team up on him.
Not BMH, I have a dare for you. If you overtake your teammate, I'll give you money.
And we may see a McLaren 1-2 here, but they are fighting.
What do you have to gain from this?
Well, BMH definitely looking for that position ahead, but they will definitely try their best to get Juice out of the lead of the race. But
hey,
BMH
if any of you have the number 6, I need you to spin. If any of you have the driver number 6, spin now.
BMH with that 3-second time penalty will probably...
XVG Dan wants to make an overtake on Marcel here, but the thing is he gonna get it done? Dominici retires! Jinx.
What a shame, he had a very good race going for him after the restart, but unfortunately it just didn't work out well for him. Why did he retire?
We don't know.
See, maybe he dropped back a lot of position and screwed up in that race, but unfortunately. So we have 4 DNFs this race, and it's not surprising considering how
BMH gaining the gap here on Jukes.
Now, this lap now, I think that DRS will be enabled, which will make it much easier for BMH and Rico to get on to. DRS is enabled. BMH gets the fastest lap, catching Juice.
122.
Definitely have a field day with that DRS keeping each other in the lead. He's staying in DRS range.
Yeah.
Probably. Like whoever's in the lead, if they overtake Juice, which is likely, unless Juice does something insane and holds them off even with them having DRS, then...
Yeah, which would be insane. It would be the Aston Martin super plan.
Now, BMH is closing that gap on Juice, and it will be so much easier when a DRS zone comes, which will be in Sector 3.
He is just going to have to play on bets, though, here, because it is all on debate.
Now, BMH is much faster than Juice. he is gaining time, especially with that slipstream. Is he going to go off for the overtake?
It's been nada.
He's in the slipstream, so he has a good advantage, but accelerating out of slow corners, he will have some dirty air, which will slow him down. But he is now 1.5 tenths, and DRS will be enabled here. He's enabling his overtake. They go side by side, and that will just be an easy overtake for BMH. He runs out of battery, so that will be detrimental as well if he wants to keep that position and be able to defend it. Goes into turn 1 in P1, Rico behind him. He will definitely be trying to overtake. Juice is flashing, which means he also is under 10% DRS, which will make it easy for Rico because he does have slightly more DRS, even if it's only a little bit. Juice will be trying his best to get back into P1 because, especially with his time penalties, it would be very difficult for him to stay on the podium.
On the final lap of the race, Rico's stuck behind Jukes here. He has a bit of oversteer, forcing Rico to brake. Eek. I think Juice has got a crazy strategy here. Wait, is Marcel about to make an overtake?
He is 1.5 tenths behind Rico. That would be detrimental to Rico, definitely trying for a 5-2. BMH definitely trying his best to break the XPG retires. BMH definitely trying his best to break the RF. Wars gets a time penalty, and
I think that's it.
BMH goes over the line and
it was a line battle. But Marcel Jan will get P2. BMH.
Wow, that is just the most unexpected thing ever.
What?
Rico in first place, which was...
He lost the wheel, but he still finished the race.
Was that BMH that went into the wall?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
that
insane.
Was devastating for him. He definitely could have
won the race.
P1 or P2. BMH gets driver of the day.
He is going to be enjoying that though. His car is bouncing up and down.
There will definitely be a lot of talk in the paddock.
Yes, and we will actually be getting to see the paddock shortly.
That is true, and Rico comes out on top for another race holding that Dutch flag.
And unfortunately, it's a legal obligation. You gotta play it.
But Marcel does get that podium position that he will definitely be very happy about. That is unfortunate. Was it Marcel that got P2?
Yeah.
That will be definitely very unfortunate for his teammate.
It's taking a while for the...
Yeah. So, Rico
That was
finishes
the wrong version.
P1 again. BMH takes home fastest lap, so he does that. That was very interesting what we saw at the end of the race. Ward will definitely be extremely devastated from fighting P1 to going into P9, finally getting Tommy to win. Now, BMH with a 5-stop managed to get a
But here it is. There's the results here at today's race.
BMH also starting from P14, which is crazy to get a podium position from that.
Zenda is the winner of the penalties championship for this race, 15 seconds. Yes, you can be classified even if you're out of the session. Here is all of the warnings and stuff. Here are all the pit stops, and I missed the pit stops, so...
And actually, I know now, BMH was doing the last to first challenge. I was correct in qualifying. That is what's why at the time. He had such a good chance of getting first place there, but unfortunately, he just couldn't manage with that final straight. That will definitely be devastating to him.
Fun. Glorious. Right. That is it. We will be back shortly with some race interviews.
Yes, we will.
Give me a few seconds. Hey, if you're wondering why it's taking a little longer than usual, I'm having some issues with Discord. We'll be back in a few minutes. Sorry about this. So sorry about that. We missed some of the interviews. We had a bit of issues with Discord. Yeah, welcome. We have Kevin, Alfie, and Marcus in the VC. So let's get started with Marcus. Hello, hello.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay.
P2, what a fantastic result for you today. What do you think about it?
Oh no.
Wait,
No, mate, you didn't go P2.
different person.
That was a different. That was the Aston Martin, mate.
I'm not reading. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry.
Anyways,
Marcus, you were Supra, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't remember who you placed. Give me a second.
P6.
P6. How did you think you did with your race today?
All pure unlucky. Just no luck on my side.
And obviously, there was a lot of problems with tyre degradation and it being really low.
The thing is, I was running for a definite podium, and then basically the last safety car messed my tyre strategy up because I had way better mediums than everyone else. And then Ward's in front of me with big lag issues cost me 2 seconds. So definitely could have been higher.
Props to Manatee for predicting that someone was going to get screwed over by a safety car.
Yeah, that always is bound to happen, especially on high-speed tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was the only one without a penalty as well.
If you had to note anyone special tonight for screwing your race over, who would it be?
What, blame someone?
Yeah, if you had to give someone the blame for...
Yeah, they're probably Wards.
Fair enough.
That
Unfortunately,
was not gonna lie, Marcus. That was pretty funny when we were in the bush.
Anyways,
I'm having a bit of a rage moment.
yeah,
So,
I was gonna
what's
move on to
internet?
you, because you did sound pretty fuming. So, Kevin, your race.
Pretty shit, but hey, look, it is what it is.
Yeah, nothing you can really do about it.
I did kind of get brought back in by that final safety car because I had been killed twice by Marcus T. BP in the room, the Red Bull, twice.
Oh, great, we're gonna have Crashgate again.
That's who I'm blaming mine on. Anyway, thank you.
But yeah, I don't think you did too bad for P8. Oh, how was your tyre degradation during this race?
Hards at the start, it was okay because I stayed out during the first two. I did stay out, yeah, and then went to mediums, which was okay. But then there was I think it was Marcus who actually just straight lined the corner to cause the last one, and then I boxed for softs, which was really bad. But that's soft tires, so. That's
And you have already mentioned who messed up your race, so I don't need to ask you that question. So, thank you, Kevin.
Oh, well, because.
And finally, Alfie from the Racing Bulls.
Hello.
Hello, hello. So, P5, how did you think your race went, personally?
Very good, to be honest. I mean, another good result of points, but could have got double points as well. But the Haas of Bounty decided to send it with a 9-second penalty on my teammate and absolutely destroyed his race at the very end.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. How was your tyre degradation throughout this race? Like, what was your strategies?
Well, I couldn't really pick one at the start because I got disconnected, so it was always great. But I boxed around. I think it was early on, to be honest, because I absolutely slammed into someone's rear on the safety car. But we won't talk about that. But then, yeah. I was
Well,
on the
someone
pads
else
for
is
a bit.
definitely going to be talking about that, but whatever.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, on the hards, they were quite good.
And finally, if you had to mention anyone for screwing you over tonight, who would it be?
To be honest, I don't think I had contact with anyone that screwed me over, but for screwing just the whole theme over, I'm going with Bounty.
Fair enough. Thank you, Alfie.
No problem.
So, that is all of the post-race interviews for tonight. Thank you all for watching. And to everyone, have a great night. And make sure you wake up for the Australian Grand Prix on Sunday. Oh, and also tune in for TSRL Tier 2.
Not be bothered.
But but there will be someone different doing Tier 3. I'm no longer doing it as I've got an engineering job in another league. So you finally get someone else different commentating for you guys. Guys, have a great night.